I hear you. I've been getting a lot of questions about what do you do to protect your family given the situation right now. I mean, this is about to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. The Russia-Ukraine crisis is on a knife's edge. And with it, every day is bringing new, fresh news about whether tensions are escalating or easing. So all of this is having an enormous impact on markets and our family's financial future. I get it. $7 per gallon gasoline coming. I mean, every time you grab your television controller or you log onto your laptop, you're going to see what's happening in the news right now. And of course, there is this impending doom that keeps hitting us right in the face. And it's not just hyperbole, folks. I mean, we saw what just happened in Canada, didn't we?
The federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act.
With the federal government of Canada seizing control of bank accounts. And just look at the headlines again today out of Ukraine. Ukrainian government sites and banks hit by cyber attack in Ukraine. I don't know about you, but I do not want my money tied to this kind of turmoil. So how can we protect ourselves with this craziness right now? Well, as I've been saying for the last 7 to 8 months, and I hope you've been paying attention to this channel, we need to be away from these government-backed currencies. We'll get to some more of that here in a moment, and one area that I think is absolutely a safe haven for our families right now, and an area that I'm heavily investing in right now while all of this craziness is happening. We'll get there. But we have a couple of scenarios that I thought I want to go through here and game out as it relates to what happens in Ukraine and Russia and this government global turmoil. Number one, there's a diplomatic fix, right? That could happen. That's one scenario that actually could happen. You could put all of your eggs in that basket right now, right? Think, okay, great, they're going to figure this out. It's going to be quiet. There'll be a diplomatic solution. We could have a huge agreement that suddenly resets NATO and Russia relations, right? Great. That's still possible. We also still have some communication lines that are open. That is possible. Do you believe it? How likely is that to happen? Not particularly if you think of economists who are looking at this scenario right now. They see about a 10% probability that we will have a diplomatic solution to what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. Only 10%. Of course, it would have enormous financial and personal costs if that happened. I've been saying this on my channel for quite a length of time, that of course the West wants a war with Ukraine. And the Western media would love nothing more than a war with Ukraine.
So I think we should even put more troops into Poland than what we're doing. We do have an armor brigade there. It's great to see the paratroopers that General Petraeus and I have commanded. We have great love for them. But armor mechanized forces in this fight is really what makes a difference. And we've got to upgun ourselves in these NATO countries.
CNN's ratings are in the toilet, and they would love a war right now. And then, of course, another scenario. A third scenario, which I think is probably the most likely, is that we actually have another Crimea on our hands. Now, back in 2014, Russia annexed the Ukrainian territory of Crimea. Now, if Russia annexes or occupies another part of eastern Ukraine, it could potentially limit the scope of this conflict. So it's kind of a gray area. This is likely going to be the highest probability scenario in this entire problem. So if you're trying to take care of your family and you're trying to plan for your future right now, economists are saying that the outcome of this entire scenario will be somewhere between war and peace, like a gray area. Not war and not peace. Okay, great. So now that we know that, what does that mean for our financial future? And wouldn't you know it, right now, as of this publication, gold is trading just south, yes, just south of an all-time high. And gold is skyrocketing over time since we've been following the drama that's been happening around the world. Any investors that have gained exposure to gold, and many people who have been frustrated by their inability to get their hands on actual physical gold, have found another way to invest in gold. And that is to actually be investing in stocks of companies that are engaged in the exploration and mining of gold. So maybe not buying gold coins, but actually investing in the companies that are actually pulling the gold out of the ground. This is how I've made a lot of money over the past few years, holding gold, but also investing heavily in the companies that are mining gold. But here's where things get really interesting. Gold mining stocks can actually sometimes experience faster growth in the price than of gold itself. That's because mining stocks give investors exposure to actual companies that have growth opportunities. That's why I'm looking very closely at Caliber Mining Corporation. So pay attention to this company. It's one I'm watching very closely. They have a lot of strong operating cash flow, and these development projects are opening up significant value. Specifically, like in Nicaragua, they have 100% ownership of that mine, which is producing fantastic returns. I'm going to have a link to their website in the description below, so you can dive deeper into the research yourself and you can get these quotes. Now, you can see the company's stock ticker. I'll put it up here on the screen is CXBMF. That is in the United States. And the Canadian version of that ticker is CXB. I use one of the larger exchanges to trade this. I get a lot of emails all the time that say, hey, I can't find this on Webull or I can't find this on Robinhood. No. You need to use one of the bigger exchanges to trade some of these gold companies. Okay. You need to use like E-Trade or TD Ameritrade or one of the big boys. You can't use one of those dinky brokerages. Okay. Just to be clear on that. I want you to dive deeper into this. I want you to spend the time doing the research. Go through the website, look at their financials, look at the details, like what they're doing in Nevada right now. They have 100% ownership of that mine. They have 100% ownership of a mine in Washington State. And just look at their Golden Eagle project. Again, these mines are producing bank, okay? And I also like to find companies that are undervalued. So look at that data too when you're doing your research right now. Right now, they have robust organic growth. And they are trading at about a 60% discount where they should be right now compared to their peers. The company is in a really strong position for 2023 and 2024 in the production growth area for gold. And folks, if you look at the world drama right now, you can actually see a hidden catalyst that's emerging. And it's a huge driver of gold and gold-related stocks. Yep, at central banks. Central banks as an end use of gold mining market should grow from 22.7 billion in 2021 to 26.9 billion in 2026. That means the stock is on the rise. The demand for gold is off the charts. We've been saying this is going to happen, and now it's happening. And just look at the value of the stock back in February. Early February, it was at $1.11 per share, okay? It's already climbed to a high of $1.39 as of February 17th. Take a look at yourself. It's already up 25%. So all of this being said, the demand for gold, their projects that are producing fantastic returns, their 100% ownership of these mines, and the demand by central banks is going to continue to drive this very, very high. Take a closer look at it. I want you to go check it out right now. The stock ticker, again, right here on your screen is CXBMF. Check them out. Check them out in the description below. Do your own due diligence on this stock, guys. Go do your research. Look at their financials. Look at their stock price. Look at the overall catalyst of the market. It's time to be very smart with our money. I've been picking these stocks, and a number of them have done fantastic over the past few months. In fact, my last pick last week, up 50%. So don't take my word for it. Do your own research, okay? Be safe. Investing in areas that are safe havens right now. With everything that's happening with Russia and Ukraine, we could be in this weird gray area for a while, this uncertainty. And obviously, safe haven gold and gold companies are going to be even more valuable. Don't miss this gold rush, guys. I'm telling you, I've been very, very bullish on this for the last year. And if you haven't been heeding my advice, it's not too late. Check out the description below. I'll have links there so you can do your own research on this. Don't miss the boat. I'll see you next time, everyone.